Well, welcome everyone to our latest edition of Stories for Healing. As you know, this is the program that started at the end of October, and now here we are in the middle of December, still going strong. And the good news is that you all are getting to hear stories of healing and reconciliation and transformation and growth, and we're able to tell them, which is helpful for us. Um, Unfortunately, we still need them, but so long as we still need them, we'll keep telling them. So it's I'm glad to have you with us, and hope that today's stories are meaningful for you as well. Today, we're very fortunate to have a special guest, Heather Forrest, who has a couple stories for us. So, Heather, please tell us a story.
The first story I'd like to share with you is a story that I often think about when I personally need comfort at times of worry. And it's called Two Possibilities. It's it's an old Jewish folk tale that I've turned into a poem. Two Talmudic scholars sat in front of the yeshiva one day having a conversation. One said to the other, "Oh, I am so worried. I cannot unfurrow my brow. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I can't even pray. Worry consumes me every day." And his friend said, "What is the trouble?" And he replied, "Well, if the country goes to war, you know I'm of the age I will be conscripted and I will have to go." "Oh, my friend, why such consternation? There are only two possibilities to every situation, and from what we learn, only one is ever of concern. In the whole wide world of thought, only two possibilities to every situation? How could this be? Ah, my friend, the sages have taught us well to think Talmudically. Turn it, look at all sides. It's a useful way of thinking. I'll show you. We can begin with your problem. What was it? You're afraid, you're worried you'll be conscripted. Either you'll be conscripted or you won't be conscripted. If you're not conscripted, well, what's your concern? You'll stay right here at the yeshiva and continue to learn. If you are conscripted, well, there are two possibilities. Either you will be sent into battle or you won't be sent into battle. If you're not sent into battle, don't worry your head. It's just a matter of time before you're back here at the yeshiva studying instead. Now, if you are sent into battle, there are two possibilities. Either you will be wounded or you won't be wounded. Well, if you're not wounded, unfurrow your brow. Sigh a sigh of relief and count a few blessings now. If you are wounded, well, there are two possibilities. Either you'll be fatally wounded or you won't be fatally wounded. If you're not fatally wounded, well, you'll live to tell. Sigh a sigh of relief and count some blessings. Now, if you are fatally wounded, there are two possibilities. Either you'll die immediately or you'll die later. If you die immediately, your worrying is done. This is common sense, ask anyone. If you die later, well then, there are two possibilities. Either the suffering will be short or the suffering will be long. If the suffering is short, what's your fear? It means that the suffering and the end of suffering is near. If the suffering is long, well then, there are two possibilities. Either you will be able to withstand the suffering, or you won't be able to withstand the suffering. If you can withstand the suffering, then maybe by some miracle you will recover from this strife. And I've come to know that a brush with death can deepen one's reverence for life. If you cannot withstand the suffering, you'll die. But then again, there are two possibilities. Either you'll die peacefully or you won't die peacefully. But a cow could fly and a dog could sing. No one knows what tomorrow will bring. So what are you worrying for? There might not even be a war. And if there is, my friend, with all your heart and all your mind, never cease to hope for miracles, but work for peace. Peace is not an easy thing to come by in this world. It can start in simple ways, peace with oneself, peace with the family, peace in the world. But where do we begin? And sometimes it's in small things, like a word. A word is a powerful tool for peace. It's a powerful tool for war. And this old Jewish folktale that I've made into a song speaks to the power of words. It's a metaphorical tale called Feathers. It's a Hasidic story from Eastern Europe. Words like feathers fly in the wind, reaching far and wide. In the wind, careless words tossed about cannot again be swallowed up. Tongues like swords can cut the heart. Words fly out, a rumor starts, cruel words like feathers fly. Try and try to gather them again, but they fly away in the wind. Once long ago, in a village in Eastern Europe, there was a woman, they say, whose tongue was sharp and unkind. She was accused of starting a rumor. She was brought before the village rabbi protesting. What I said was in jest, just humor. My words were carried forth by others, so I am not to blame. But the victim of the rumor cried for justice, saying, "Oh, but what she said about me wasn't true, and now everyone else is saying it too. She has ruined my own good name." "Oh," said the woman accused, "I can make amends. I'll just take back my words and assume I'm excused." Well, the wise old rabbi listened to what the woman said, and he sighed as he shook his head. He thought, she does not understand her crime, and so she'll do it again in time. And because he was wise enough to know that the best teacher is experience, he said to the woman accused, "No, your cruel words cannot be excused until you take my feather pillow to the market square. Cut it open and let the feathers fly through the air. When this is done, bring me back the feathers, every single one." Well, the woman reluctantly agreed, thinking the rabbi had gone a bit mad indeed, but she took his feather pillow to the market square. She cut it open, and feathers flew through the air. She tried to catch, she tried to snatch, she tried to collect each one, but weary with effort, she quickly discovered The task could not be done. She returned with just a few of the feathers in her hand. She said, I couldn't collect them all. They scattered all over the land. I suppose, she sighed as she lowered her head. They're like those words I can't take back from the rumor I spread. Cruel words like feathers fly. Cruel words reach far and wide. Try and try to gather them again, but they fly away in the wind. Words can heal, words can bind. May all your words, my friends, be kind.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Uh, uh, a wonderful pairing of poetry and songs, and poetry and song, obviously.
Thank
Um,
you.
I'm struck by the um, the notion that words are also in the Jewish tradition the source of everything that is, and the power that comes from the word is in fact what brings the world into existence.
Ah, yes, in the beginning
In the
was
beginning,
the
right?
Word.
And
Yes.
it really does put a special emphasis on our words, and how we use them, because they can create or destroy. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
yeah. Oh, a good story. Go ahead. Yes.
Oh, I was just remembering one time when I was invited to a library to tell stories, and it was a family concert, and one family brought a little kindergartner with them. Everyone else was a bit older, but this child obviously couldn't be left at home. So he looked to be about 5. And he was sitting cross legged on the floor in front of his parents' knees, listening intently to the concert of stories. And one of the stories that I told was feathers. And as I was telling it, I looked at that little boy and I thought, I wonder if they teach metaphor in kindergarten. And then I decided, no, they probably don't. I wonder how he is perceiving this story. What does he think this story is really about? And I let the thought go. And at the end of the concert, that little boy came up to me and was very excited. He said, Miss Forrest, I want to tell you that I really liked your stories. And my favorite story was the one about feathers. And I said, did you understand that story? And he said, yes, it's just like toothpaste. I said, toothpaste? What does my story have to do with toothpaste? And he said, I got into trouble for the same thing just the other day. Do you know that once you squeeze all of the toothpaste out of the tube, you can't put it back in again?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, we have to take care. We have to choose our words carefully, because otherwise we can end up with a big mess. Well, folks, I want to thank you for attending yet another episode of Stories for Healing. If this is your first time here, well, welcome. Now you know where to find us. And if it's not your first time here, well, welcome back. You know you can find all the episodes either here on the Facebook page for Transformational Storytelling, or you can go to the playlist on YouTube and see them all there. Either place you want to go, please go see the ones you haven't seen, rewatch the ones you love to see, and share both with your friends, please. Help us reach more people with this wonderful message of healing and reconciliation. You know, it's important that we stay in touch with each other. We're all separated by Zoom or whatever, but we still can open our hearts and give a healing word or a word of reconciliation to others. And that's what's going to get us through this time. So thanks again. We'll see you the next time.